Good afternoon, Phil. Thanks for joining me today on today's Tech Chat. So today, I think you want to talk to me about the estimate importer, which you seem to be demonstrating a lot in your customer engagements. So yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Lee. Yeah, so I thought what we'd actually show you today is the importer tool, which is great, particularly if you're doing point of sale campaigns where you're getting large numbers of items that you need to actually process quickly and efficiently. And to do this, I thought I'd just run through a quick video to actually show you guys this.
Great.
So I'm just going to quickly share my screen, and I'll fire up the actual video accordingly. And you can see that we're in the Tharstern environment there. And the thing that we're going to be looking at is the project estimates. But before we go into the full details of that and consume the data, what I thought it would be a good idea is to open up a typical campaign that you would actually probably get. So this is a CSV file representing a campaign where you can see there's a series of column headers that basically represent the various parameters for those individual SKUs that basically your customer wants you to basically
How many SKUs would you say is on that file there, Phil?
I think this one's a bit small. There's only about 24 to 30, but I have done some testing for a customer who asked us to actually consume one of their test ones, and I think it was something in the region of about 200 to 300 different items actually.
Right.
So it was pretty powerful.
Sure.
So as you can see that each one of the column headers represents things like the description of the item, a proposed SKU code. You can see there's artwork and details, finishing, and then in this case there's height and width details, which you can see are different for each SKU, materials, and there's the store profiling, which we may not be interested at this stage, but we will be interested in the quantities.
Yep.
So this is not, obviously an untypical thing that we'd need to actually process. And what we do is we actually go into the project and we actually create a new project, giving it a title of some type. So in this case, I'm just using a Starbucks campaign. And what we're going to do then is we're going to assign to that basically the customer as well. And as you know, that will actually make a call to the external accounts package to identify if it's on stop or exceeded its credit limit, which is cool. And then really what we need to do is build that campaign, and we can add existing estimates. So that's kind of cool as well. But what we're going to do in this particular case is we're going to import that CSV file. And we literally have to give the import a name. So I'm being very literal, calling it an import. And we do basically an estimate product type. And because these were square trimmed items, containing just guillotining, I literally choose that product type, and then I actually point to the respective CSV file. Now, obviously, if you had different finishing process, you just have different product types to use, and you just consume different chunks of the CSV file. So we can see that there is that CSV file. We actually save it and we load it, and it's loaded all those items, or will do. It's also identified that this has been loaded previously, and we like to utilize that same mapping process for each of the columns. And that's cool for campaigns that come in, month out.
So just to be clear there, Phil, it's recognized the format of that actual CSV file. The content could be different, but the format is the same, which is recognized. Yeah.
Correct. And we all hoped in the point of sale industry to have customers that would send us similar files each month, but obviously in the real world that's not
reality is not the case. Yeah.
And for the purposes of the demo as well, you can see that the yellow column headings are ones that haven't been mapped, and that's going to be cool. We can show you that process here. So what's actually happening is I'm actually therefore going in and I'm mapping, for example, the customer SKU code. And this is kind of cool because this can be basically the proposed SKU code for these items when this campaign goes live.
Yeah.
I'm also mapping here things like the height and the width, and it's in inches at the moment, obviously linked to the US demo database, but obviously for the UK market, it will work with obviously metric.
Yep.
And then we want the quantity there, which we saw mapped. And I'm just selecting that I'm going to process all these items against that product type. And I just need to do a verification. And the reason we did the verification is because if we'd have called the material, let's say ball, that wouldn't be enough for Tharstern to know which material we need to use.
Right.
So I basically save that. That's cool. And I say, create me estimates. And in this particular case, it's linked to the InSoft application through our estimating engine. And it's now crunching through that data. And because those items, while they're square trimmed items, they are different dimensions in size. It's now then laying those down on the actual laydowns in the most cost effective way. And we can see in this particular case, we've basically got two estimates being generated.
Mm-hmm.
They are listed there. And we're just going to open up the first one, which is the first batch of tickets. And you can see that when we edit that, down in the panel there, the 3040 sheet has those items there with the proposed cost and sell price, And equally, if we look at the actual poster as well, we can actually edit that, and we actually see that there's a whole batch of lays there for the different sized items. And again, we've got our proposed sale price. Yep. So that's pretty cool stuff. And we can actually just basically close all those details down. But the real trick is that we might actually want to come up with a campaign price for all those items. Okay, and that's what we're going to look at in this particular case. Now, bear in mind that you can add additional items, as I'm saying there, to the campaign, but we're just going to keep those items in there and then change this price to $2,000, and that's going to pro-rata that increase across those two estimates, which is cool because that's a real pain in the neck thing to do, you know, if you're doing it just manually. So that's a really great feature, that is. And basically what we've got now is we've got our estimate there with our total cost, we've got our markup, and we've got our price, and we can then output the associated quote letter, and that can be formatted obviously using Crystal Reports to output in the manner you want. And it could just be simply a total price for the campaign. Equally, it could be a price for each individual estimate, or you might even go further. But you can imagine that it's only taken us 3 or 4 minutes to do this. All I can say is I just wish that basically I'd had basically these tools when I was in the point of sale industry, because it would have saved literally hours of work.
So yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. If you're importing loads of products that you want to create estimates for, why wouldn't you do this? What a time saver.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thanks, Phil, and look forward to speaking to you on the next Tech Chat.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Take care.